Team Baxter.
I finally put the electronics in the ascender. I debated for a while about switching up my regular electronics, but I ended up putting the same electronics that I put in most of my crawling vehicles and most of my bashers as well. I'm using a high-tech 5646 WP for a servo with the metal servo horn. I'm using the RC 4-wheel drive 45 turn motor. This is a brush motor. I tend to stick to brush motors in my crawlers. I use mostly 45, 55 and 35 turn brushed motors. 35 is when I want a little bit more wheel speed, and 55 are for the more torquier vehicles. I like brush because it works well for me. It's waterproof. I get plenty of water play out of it. I use sealed cans because they're throwaway and cheap, and I seem to get more life out of those in water than I do with the rebuildable motors. For the ESC, I use my standard Castle Sidewinder 3. I actually burnt up the first one by forgetting to disconnect the red wire that goes to the receiver, so this is the second one for the sender. It's a pricey mistake to make. Wired into the power for the ESC is a Castle BEC set at 7.4 volts, so I can turn the high-tech 5646 with a little bit more power and speed. This 5646 is not the most impressive specs wise, but it does an excellent job out on the trail for me, and it's factory waterproof, which is a big deal for me. That means I don't have to do my own waterproofing, and I'm not held responsible for any failures or damages. I do have to waterproof the Castle BEC because they don't come waterproof. What I do is run silicone inside, and then after the silicone has cured, I run Plasti Dip on the outside. It seems to work well for me. I haven't had any fail using this method. Inside the receiver box is a Spectrum receiver, non-waterproof. It is a 4-channel receiver. I believe it's called 4210. I'm using that so that when I get the 2-speed transmission, I can run the extra channel right to the auxiliary. And powering all this is a new battery I got for this ascender. I got this battery because it also fits my twin hammers, and it's specifically made for this format, these shorty packs. It's a dynamite reaction battery, 4,000 milliamp, 2-cell. It's a shorty pack, and it actually comes with a foam block to fill the battery compartments out if you want to use a truck that takes a full-size battery. But I bought these specifically for the ascender and the twin hammers, and I'll probably use it in some of my crawlers for some nose weight because it's so short. So that's about it for the electronics. Really simple system, not too different from what I normally use. I generally wait till the last minute on my kits, and this one is no different. I tend to like to get the kit built before I start putting electronics in it. So that's electronics for my Vaterra Ascender.